Well, today we've talked about cloud in a very broad sense. It's not just cloud, it's mobile, social, analytics, in some industries, sensor technologies. Let's talk a little bit about these touch points, right, and the assets that are being utilized. Steve, maybe we'll start with you at JP Morgan. How are you using this new array of tools in your digital marketing initiatives?
Three basic ways. The first is just understanding. It's amazing once you tap into the data that's available as we look across our interactions and our marketing. Yeah, well, but it's just informing targeting. It's helping you understand who it is you're talking to and how they're responding. I mean, part of the discussion in the last section was people just don't even understand what people are doing. And it's amazing once you take stock of all of those interactions and being able to line that data to understand what people are doing, it's amazing what you can learn. And then the next is turn that to actionable. How are you evolving marketing? How are you improving targeting? How are you looking at performance at the individual level and at the audience level and adapt your programs?
Reuben, what are you guys doing in terms of providing services through GSI?
Well, I mean, we have to help our clients figure out how to sell and engage consumers out there or their current customers, and how to sell. And consumers, of course, are spending more and more of their time using mobile devices in addition, obviously, to their PC to not just shop but also become informed with what's out there. And then sometimes they're bringing those devices into the store with them, and there's now a whole new wave of what's happening in the store with all these devices. So, we kind of live, eat, and breathe, around the consumer and what he or she might, purchase. Because again, we're not just interested in engagement, although, sometimes obviously that's along the way to a purchase. So we have to, candidly develop pretty sophisticated ways to track the consumer, across not just the purchase cycle, but across device where possible. Figure out how you distribute that content and that brand, track that engagement and keep moving them down, bad old word, but down the funnel, to actually get them to purchase. And so it's pretty hairy when you've got when it doesn't really count unless you're going to end up making a sale.
If I think back, the marketing organization's been using digital assets for 20 years. In some ways, they're the earliest of all functional domains to go heavy in terms of, in particular around customer targeting and data. But how are things different today than they were, let's say, in 1995? Any comments there? What's different today? I mean, I can think of 5 or 6, but I'm trying to throw you guys a softball here. What's different today that you can do that you couldn't do in the prior eras?
Well, I think the biggest difference is in 1995, you could control your messaging. I knew who it was going to, and I knew what I was going to say, and I knew it wasn't going to be intercepted, and end up on a social media site or Twittered, and people weren't going to be bitching about me because I underperformed. Word of mouth was basically the church, breakfast, and that obviously has all changed. And we heard about that, some of these war stories today where one misstep by a marketer, and it might not be a headline in a newspaper, but it's going to be a headline to a lot of the cohorts that are tied into the person that got abused.
I would also say that in the past, you didn't have so many different technologies thrown at you as a marketing executive or as a marketing organization. And the aspect of personalization, and again, we're seeing this as investor, I'm seeing it from two perspectives. I'm seeing it both from large corporations that are coming to Silicon Valley asking to become better informed about innovation in technologies that are pertinent, particular to their customer interactions, but also from our portfolio companies that are working mostly with large corporations. So there is the number of channels, what is now starting to be called omni-channel, and there needs to be a consistency of interactions. And the other aspect is, I think the consumer is expecting a lot more, or the customer, maybe consumer, maybe, is expecting a lot more personalization, and that necessitates is the type of data, the type of analysis of that data, the type of consistency, coordination among your multi-channel interactions that I don't think existed before.
I mean, I would agree. Personalization, I started my career at AOL in the 90s when we were carpet bombing CDs all over the universe. And even then, as sophisticated as we thought we could be with data, it's light years different now. The intent, the interaction, and being able to customize the marketing as people are landing on your site and find signals that will let you know what you should be bringing forward and how you should engage in that dialogue allows us to be much more relevant in a more dynamic and faster fashion today. And the technologies that are coming out are amazing. And you know, we're very, very focused on privacy, security, everything along those lines. But there's lots of ways for us to adapt to signals that consumers are giving us that are completely privacy, no PII involved. But you know what they're looking for, and you can give them what's relevant faster